morning this morning, and welcome to a Julian Sayin had a bad scrimmage, but whatever you do not panic edition of the OHIO podcast. Do us a big favor this morning and smash that like button if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel. We're only 137 new subscriptions away from 4,000. So the push is on for 4K. So if you haven't, please consider doing so. Make sure you ring that bell. That way you get notified every time we go live and or we have a new video that drops on your lap like this one. Also, if at any point during this video you decide that something I said strikes your fancy, or you just want to say good morning or hello or I'm fat or whatever you want to say to me, do that down in the comment section below, because you know what? That helps out that old pesky algorithm and we can shoot this video out to more people. We can continue to grow the channel and the community here at the OHIO podcast. So, as you all may have heard or may not have heard, I don't know, there is a little bit of a rumor going around that this past Saturday, Ohio State's potential starting quarterback for 2025, Julian Sayin, had a bad scrimmage on Saturday. Of course, there's a lot of talk out there that he and Lincoln Kienholz are in a competition for the starting position at quarterback for this season. I'm on record saying it's really not much of a competition. This is Julian Sayin's position to grab the bull by the horns and run away with. I do believe that Ryan Day and the coaching staff believe Julian Sayin's ceiling is higher, that he kind of is the man. And if you listen to everything that the former players are saying who have been interviewed by the media, they all speak glowingly of Julian Sayin, his ball placement, the velocity on his throws, his IQ, his decision making. All of these things are all things Ryan Day looks for in a quarterback. And of course, the comparisons to CJ Stroud have already started to be made by many people. I try to avoid those comparisons, but they're hard not to avoid because, quite simply, there's so many comparisons. He's a redshirt freshman, just like Julian Sayin was back in 2021. Um, he'll be making his first start national television against Texas. Julian's was against Minnesota, and then he had Oregon at home in game number two. And there was a young team. There was a lot of buzz around that team, but it was a young team in 2021, and so there's a lot of comparisons here in that aspect. So I understand where that's coming from, but like we have been saying all along, Julian Sayin is going to be his own guy, and so we try very hard not to make those comparisons. Now, I'm on record, and a lot of people are on record saying that they believe that this quote unquote quarterback competition has more to do with the fact that Ryan Day doesn't want to go into season with a true freshman and Tavian St. Clair as the number two quarterback or the backup quarterback. Um, that he would rather have a veteran who has some experience, who's been in the program for several seasons, three to be in fact now, and Lincoln Kienholz as that backup in case there's an injury to Julian Sayin or Julian Sayin just falls flat on his face and can't get the job done. Then he's got somebody who understands the offense and can run more of the offense than what Tavian can do. So let's be honest, if Tavian ends up having to play, that really limits how much of the playbook you're going to be able to use for a true freshman. Now, will it be more than, say, another true freshman who hasn't been on campus as much as Taven has been able to do? Yeah, I think so. But let's just be honest. A true freshman is still a true freshman. Let me say that again for all of you Maize and Blue fans up there in Ann Arbor who are sucking on the teat of the bought and paid for media from the University of Dumb, who all saying that underwear is the best thing since sliced bread at your quarterback position as a true freshman. Um, true freshman. True freshman. So you can all keep believing all the BS that the media keeps pumping out about how great he is. He's already won the starting position, yada, yada, yada. You need to be a little bit smarter than that, but intelligence is something that a lot of you just don't have. I get it. I understand. But, that's the world we live in, right? Things in Columbus, Ohio at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center are a little bit different here. So we have the quarterback competition. And apparently on Saturday, Julian Sayin did not look good and did not perform as well as Lincoln Keenholz in his first chance, first real opportunity to do so in a scrimmage setting. Now, if you are watching the show last night, we had Miles Holiday on, former football coach, ESPN radio personality, and we asked him about this, and he kind of chuckled, and he said, Ryan Day and this coaching staff, they can kind of manipulate these scrimmages. They can put Julian Sayin in positions that are going to be a little bit more difficult for him than the Lincoln Keenholz or Tavian St. Clair, right? They're going to push Julian by showing him some defensive looks that he hasn't seen before, um, bringing more pressure on him, uh, placing him in like, hey, defensively we're going to bring this set with this pressure, and offensively we're going to run this route, and let's see what he does here. And sounds like Julian didn't have as great of a performance from the eyewitnesses and those who were there who were communicating about it as Lincoln Keenholz did. Let's keep in mind that that's probably the case, just like what Miles said. More than likely, they were putting Julian in different situations than they were Lincoln. And Ryan would do this for two reasons. Number one, he wants to challenge Julian a little bit differently, right? Like, hey, I want you to see these things because of your mind, because of your quick processing, because you learn so quickly. I'm going to show more to you than I would somebody else because, hey, I want to build that person up confidence wise. And for you, I want to build your portfolio of things maybe you've not seen before. So in case we run into this in the game, you can go, I remember seeing this. I know what I did then and it was wrong. I'm not going to do that this time. And so there's a way to manipulate these scrimmages a little bit, which is why I'm not panicking at all, right? As Chris pointed out in last night's show too, the first time we saw Justin Fields in Ohio State uniform was at a spring game back in 2019, and he looked awful. but and Buckeye Nation was panicking, and we had no reason to panic. Justin Fields was a sensational quarterback for Ohio State in both 2019 and in 2020, and there was no reason for us to come out of that spring game having any bit of inclination that he was going to be anything but great. And I think the same can be said here for Julian Sayin. There's no reason to panic. There's no reason to get our panties all up in a bunch, Buckeye Nation. And just because some people are saying, hey, Julian Sayin didn't look that good in that first scrimmage, we might hear the exact opposite this upcoming weekend in the next scrimmage because, again, they're going to and Ryan Day might do the same thing again. Different look, different pressures, and Julian might, hey, I've learned from it this time. I know what this is they're going to do here. I've seen the film. I went with the ball here last time. That's not what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to go with it here. And so you learn as a quarterback, you learn when you're running this system in Ryan Day what you do and do not do with the football. And as Ryan Day says, make the routine plays routinely, make the routine throws routinely. One of the things we heard was there was a lot of dump offs going on, tight ends, running backs being utilized in the passing game, and that's probably a good sign. And so even though it might have been like a 3rd and 6 situation. He dumps the ball off, and Ohio State gets 2 yards, and now they've got a punt. It wasn't a turnover, right? Those who are watching might say, he didn't get the first down. That wasn't good. But in Ryan Day's book, it's like, hey, he didn't turn the football over. He got the ball to his check down, and we live to fight another day, and now we can punt it in this defense that's apparently looking really, really good can get us the football back and even maybe even better field position than when we first started this drive. So that's kind of the idea behind situations like that is learning to play the chess game, the long game, if you will. Not everything is going to be a bed of roses from the opening drive. You have to be able to manipulate the defense, move the football in ways that are going to be productive for the long term of not only that game, but the team in general moving forward. And I think that's exactly what Ryan Day is doing for Julian Sayin in these situations and in these scrimmages. There's no doubt about it. Everything we've heard, Julian Sayin is going to be the guy. He's going to be the man. I am very confident in that. And I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I think Julian Sayin is the opening day starter against Texas this fall inside the shoe. That's just where I'm at with this. And so I'm not going to panic one bit. Oh, this today's Bible verse for all you comes from Luke 8. Buck NATO sent this to me. And so I'm really excited. Some of you are starting to post Bible verses back to me. I really, really appreciate that. It makes me feel good that to know that these Bible verses aren't just being skipped over, but they're being read and listened to. And so, yeah, I like to read the Bible every day, get my day started off the right way. And Buck NATO, thank you for your submission. It went right along with one I read a couple days ago. Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Absolutely, 100%. You might have things hidden. You might think you had things hidden from the FBI, right? Matt Wes, whatever, how you pronounce his name. You might have thought you had things hidden well, and you might have had them hidden for several years, but eventually things come to the light, right? And so it's important that we live our lives in such a way that we understand that the Lord's always watching, right? And so that's what the definition of integrity is. Integrity is what you do when you think nobody is watching. That's what integrity is. And so we want to make sure that we have great integrity each and every single day to the very best of our abilities. Have a great day and a great week, Buckeye Nation. Love you all. Thank you so much for a great weekend here at the OHIO podcast. Some good numbers. And we appreciate all of your support. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Feel free to be a part of this community. Don't miss Chris's show tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern, the call-in show. He said he's going to take the family-friendly rating off. He's going to let Buckeye Nation call in and let it fly when it comes to good old Connor Stallions tonight. So if you got something you'd like to say to the fans of University of Dumb, you got something you'd like to say to Connor Steins, something you want to get off your chest, tonight's call-in show is going to be for you. It's going to be wild, so you're not going to want to miss that, everybody. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH in Carmen, Ohio, with all your heart. Till next time, guys, you know what to do. Go Bucks.